as you sit or lie here, tuning into your breathing as you settle into the present moment, working as best you can with any intense sensations that may arise, trusting in your own creativity here and in your ability to stay with the process without the need to see immediate results. Seeing if you can simply ride on the waves of your breathing with full awareness over 1 or 2 or 3 cycles of in-breaths and out-breaths. And as you settle in, allowing your awareness to expand beyond the breath and the body to feature any thoughts and emotions you may be experiencing, placing them center stage in the field of awareness. Perhaps you've already seen that your thoughts and emotions have a life of their own. They are simply fleeting events appearing and disappearing in the mind. They arise, linger perhaps for a moment, and quickly pass away. But those very thoughts and emotions sometimes have so much power and energy associated with them that they can easily carry us away from attending uninterruptedly to the breath sensations or to other sensations in the body, whether they are pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, or from a sense of the body as a whole. So as you sit here or lie here, seeing if you can be in touch with the breath and the body, while also being aware of any thoughts and emotions that might arise, linger for a moment or two and then dissolve. As best you can, seeing if you can recognize each thought that arises as a thought, noticing both its content and its emotional charge. Again, as best you can, just watching it arise and pass away without getting caught up in either the content or the emotion of it. And if you do get carried away or lost, which is bound to happen over and over again, every time you notice it, coming back again and again to the awareness of thoughts as thoughts and feelings as feelings. Even if we bring a very light touch to attending primarily to our thoughts and emotions, this can be hard work to sustain. So feel free to anchor or re-anchor yourself in the awareness of the breath sensations at any point if you find it to be helpful and stabilizing. The fact is, the very noticing of thoughts as thoughts and emotions as emotions is awareness itself. The moment of noticing that your mind has gotten lost in the thought or feeling is direct evidence that your attention is already back. Of course, our lives are complicated, and we can have thoughts milling around about pretty much anything, real or imagined. They can be about the past or the future or the present. But when we intentionally try to look at them directly and see them as thoughts, we may find that they are actually quite elusive, like shy animals. It can take a degree of spaciousness, stability, and stillness in our practice to detect them without immediately getting carried away by them. That said, if we manage to stay still in our attending, even for brief moments, we discover that they are constantly appearing, disappearing, commenting, reacting, judging, or yearning for something or other. And all along with all those thoughts are many different emotions that are usually strongly tied to the thoughts that we're having and the stories we're telling ourselves with those very thoughts. Can you sense that this might be going on right now as you allow yourself to be quiet and still? In this meditation, we are bringing awareness to any thoughts or emotions that might arise, but especially to those related to the sensations you are experiencing in any given moment in the body, including the fact that the word tinnitus is a thought. For this reason, it can be very helpful to notice if you are having a lot of thoughts about the intense discomfort you may be feeling in your body and how often you automatically think of it as tinnitus. You might experiment with not calling it tinnitus when it comes up, at least some of the time, since, as was just pointed out, the word tinnitus is itself a thought. It is not the experience itself. This can only be felt. So maybe you can investigate for yourself, take a look and see whether when you do think of what you are experiencing as tinnitus, as opposed to intense sensation, it increases the intensity of sensation even more, and perhaps the suffering as well. Can you experiment with not calling it tinnitus right now, since that is just a thought rather than the sensory experience itself? Why not just take a peek every now and again and see whether this is true for you? How about now? Sometimes our thoughts about intense sensations can take the form of statements such as, "This is killing me," or "I can't stand it any longer," or "How long will this go on?" or "My whole life is a mess," or "I'll never be free from this tinnitus," or "There's no hope for me." We all have such thoughts at times. They are like storms in the mind, mere turbulence. It is totally understandable that we have them, but it is also helpful to notice that they are just thoughts, often very reactive thoughts, and not necessarily true either, although we might think they are. And certainly none of these thoughts is the tinnitus itself. They are all thoughts about the tinnitus, and also perhaps the story you may be telling yourself about it. In fact, you may not even realize that such thoughts and the emotions that accompany them may very well be contributing to your experience of both pain and suffering without your even knowing it. Just bringing awareness to your thoughts and emotions about the tinnitus may, over time, have a very dramatic effect in reducing the degree to which you are experiencing suffering. So can you integrate awareness of thoughts and emotions into your mindfulness practice and recognize them as thoughts and emotions when they appear in the field of your awareness? It's the very same awareness whether you are choosing to feature thoughts, emotions, or sensations in the body, or sounds or other aspects of life for that matter. When you see and feel the sensations you are experiencing, however intense they may be, as sensations pure and simple, you may see that these thoughts about the sensations can actually make things worse, intensifying the experience of suffering. In recognizing them as thoughts and letting them be without either pushing them away or pursuing them, you are putting out the welcome mat for the sensations themselves, simply because they are already here. Why not just accept them for now, realizing that the part of you that is aware of the sensations, thoughts, and emotions of tinnitus is not itself experiencing tinnitus or ruled by these thoughts and feelings at all. Awareness knows them directly, understands the conceptual labels and descriptions and the stories we tell ourselves. The less you identify with them as my tinnitus or my suffering or the truth about me, the more freedom you already have right in this moment. The awareness of thoughts as thoughts and not the truth of things, and of emotions as emotions and also not the truth of things, this very awareness is an innate capacity within which you can embrace and take a look at all aspects of your experience, not just when you are cultivating mindfulness during a formal period of meditation practice at a specific time of day, but also informally, in all the unfolding moments, activities, and engagements of daily living. The invitation is always the same, to see if you can be aware of whatever thoughts and emotions arise as you keep up the meditation practice, resting in awareness itself. And if you find it helpful and stabilizing, stay grounded as best you can in awareness of breath sensations in the body, moment by moment, until you hear the sound of the bell.